at Home Warehouse, Connellsville Street in Uniontown. Shop Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30, Saturday, 8 to noon, closed Sunday and holidays.
Home Warehouse, where a house becomes a home.
Are you interested in earning your degree online or finishing your degree? Take your career to the next level at Salem University. Salem University offers more than 50 online degrees and certificate programs. Learn how you can advance your career with degrees in nursing, business, education, criminal justice, and IT. Salem has 4-week classes starting once a month. Contact Salem University by dialing 844-462-9128, option 1, or visit salemu.edu to see if you are eligible for our partnerships offering tuition scholarships. Step back in time to 1794 as Friendship Hill Association celebrates Whiskey Rebellion Festifall Weekend, August 30th and 31st. Tucked away on Route 166 in New Geneva and a National Historic Site, Whiskey Rebellion Festifall at Friendship Hill is a weekend of local history and fun with Ron Duquette as Albert Gallatin and Brady Kreitzer, author of A Distilled History of the Whiskey Rebellion, plus craft vendors, fife and drum corps, children's games, pumpkin races, the barbecue buggy, and more. To learn more, visit Friendship Hill Association's Facebook page.
Friday's another CR Piranha Group High School Sports Night here on WMBS. Join us for WPIL High School football action as the Ambridge Bridgers travel to Laurel Highlands to take on the Mustangs. Hi, Brian Morozak. I'll have all the exciting play-by-play action for you, starting with the Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show at 6 o'clock and the opening kickoff between the Bridgers and the Mustangs set for 7. And, of course, we'll have a live video stream of the game on the WMBS Facebook page. Stay tuned after the game wraps up for the Trib Live Scoreboard Show with Don Rebel. That's Friday night high school football, Ambridge at Laurel Highlands, here on WMBS.
Look and you'll see there's a whole new Ford for you and me.
It's the summer sales event, now until September 2nd at Thurby's Riverside Ford. Listen up. All new Escape, Explorer, Bronco Sport, Bronco, and F-150 come with 0% financing for 48 months. Now that's a summer sales event deal.
The all-new 2025 Ford F-150 XLT Crew Cab Hybrid 4x4s come with $3,000 in factory rebates, plus 3.9% for 60 months, plus a 2-year complimentary maintenance plan.
Check out these low payments, just $399 per month to lease a new 2025 Ford Escape or Bronco Sport Big Bend with 0 down payment and get a 2-year complimentary maintenance plan.
Ford Motor Credit financing required. 3-year lease is based on 10.5 miles per year. Tax and tags extra. Offer ends September 2nd, but hurry. Thurby's Riverside Ford, your 26-time President's Award-winning dealer.
Looking for a new spot for a night out? Then check out Shindig's Bar and Grill in Uniontown, located in Oliver Square. With regular live entertainment and themed events, and offering 6 diamond pool tables and 3 dartboards, Shindig's is the place to be. Enjoy daily specials, including Tuesday wing night, Friday's Cajun chicken Alfredo, and Saturday's incredible crab leg dinner. And stick around for karaoke nights, live music, and so much more. Follow them on Facebook at Shindig's with a Z Bar and Grill. Shindig's, your hootenanny hotspot.
I'll tell you what, Fayette County, it's our time to stand up and take back our county and our country. The establishment elite, the career politicians, the swamp creatures in both parties, they have spent decades selling us out, making deals that benefit themselves and their donors, while the hardworking people of Fayette County and across America get left behind. They tell us to sit down, shut up, let them run things. They tell us, trust the system, but the system ain't working for us. It's working against us. Well, I've got news for them. We're not backing down. We're just getting started. We are the steel workers, the coal miners, the farmers, the small business owners, the first responders, and the families who built this nation with our bare hands. We work, we build, we sacrifice, and we don't need government bureaucrats telling us how to live our lives. They want more taxes. They want more regulations. They want more control. But we say no more. They want us divided, black against white, rich against poor, rural against urban. But we see through their lies. This movement, the MAGA movement, is all about us coming together as Americans. We believe in freedom over control. We believe in fair elections over corruption. We believe in jobs over handouts. We believe in family, faith, and country. And let me tell you, I ain't here to play politics. I'm here to fight for you. That's why I'm running for re-election as your recorder of deeds. Not to be another politician, but to be a watchdog against corruption, to protect your property rights, and to make sure the government is transparent and accountable. And I promise you this, after I win the recorder of deeds, I'm not stopping there. These establishment politicians have been bleeding you dry, raising taxes, playing political games with your money for far too long. I'm going to put an end to that. They'll try to smear us, silence us, call us every name in the book, but they will never break our spirit. We are MAGA strong, America first, and unstoppable. So Fayette County, are you ready to take back your government? Are you ready to send a message to the swamp that we the people are in charge? Are you ready to stand up, fight back, and win? Then let's get to work. Tell your neighbors, because the Hillbilly MAGA train is leaving the station and we're taking our country and our county back. Full speed ahead. God bless Fayette County. God bless Pennsylvania. And God bless the United States of America. And God bless President Donald J. Trump. I am John Marietta, and I am the Hillbilly.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of John Marietta and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Fayette County Recorder of Deeds Office or Fayette County government. This program is privately produced and funded, and no county resources are used for its production or promotion.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I was trucking up the highway, minding my own lane, with some dude in a Prius went and flipped me off. Guess my redneck hit him wrong. Seems like everyone these days is a ticking time bomb full of hate for folks like me who don't agree and ain't ever gonna change. And it gets me thinking, leave this long-haired country boy alone. And I start singing along to that line in the song, Sweet Home Alabama.
Hey everybody, this is John Marietta, and I am the Hillbilly. And today's show is being brought to you by Miser's Garage and Tire Center, PatriotsOnline.com, Mung's Auto Body, ACS Metal Roofing and Shingling, Fayette County Recovery Storage and U-Haul, Country Motor Sales, Gunslingers in Connellsville, JB Market, Thundering Hills Feed and Supply, The Ink Spot, Fayette County MAGA Patriots Group, Gun Owners of America, Hillbilly Jon Radio, John Marietta for We the People, Solid Foundation Ministries, and Fayette Structures. Get out there and see Gino. He's cleaning everything up. He's trying to move some things around. Last few sheds he's got for the year, I don't know if he's going to get more brought in, but I think he's got a plan to build them himself. Hillbilly's Grub and Pub and Premier Auto Glass, 724-557-9288. Let's get started. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. That's Matthew 5:9. I'll tell you what, folks, when it comes to keeping our community safe, it doesn't get any more important than the men and women who put on the badge every morning. They're not in it for glory, and they sure ain't in it for the money. They're in it because they believe in protecting their neighbors, upholding the law, and keeping order when chaos comes knocking. Now today, we've got someone joining us who understands that responsibility firsthand. Brian Weissmantel, candidate for Allegheny County Sheriff. This ain't just about titles or politics. This is about trust. When you elect a sheriff, and we have a good one here, you're not just choosing an office holder. You're choosing a man who will stand between law-abiding citizens and those who'd rather burn it all down. You're choosing someone who will defend your rights, keep the peace, and make sure the law applies to everybody, not just the folks with money or power. We're going to talk with Brian today about law enforcement, accountability, and what it really takes to back the blue while also serving we the people. Because I'll tell you what, when we get law enforcement right, everything else has a chance to work. But when we get it wrong, you don't just lose safety, you also lose your liberty. So stick around. We're going to dig into what Brian stands for, what Allegheny County needs, how the leadership in the sheriff's office matters now more than ever. Let me see if I got him on the line. You with me, Brian?
Yes, John, I'm here.
Okay. I hope that wasn't, I didn't mean to bore you to, I hope I got it right with the lead in there for you. So, anyways, let's get started. I know you spent 25 years working as a homicide detective and over 30 years in the military. I guess some of them were overlapped a little bit somehow. How's them experiences shaped you for the kind of sheriff you'd like to be in Allegheny County?
Yes, sir. Yeah, just to begin, I want to thank you. And, I couldn't have said it any better, the introduction. Everything you said was spot on. The county sheriff is a very important position, and it requires leadership, integrity, professionalism. And if you have that, you can't go wrong. And that's just the beginning of everything. I began my career in public safety back when I was 17, when I joined the Army National Guard. Was with them for 6 years, and then I joined the Air Force Reserve and then the Air National Guard. During that time, I did get hired by Pittsburgh Police, which was back in 1990. I was with the department for 25 years and retired. 18 and a half of those years were in homicide. The other years were in patrol uniform, some other investigative work, some narcotics work. So a little bit of everything. I've done pretty much every position, held every position on the job. And, with the cases that we handled, that gave us, we were in charge of those. That was part of our leadership experience. And also my 33 years with the military, a lot of leadership skills there learned. And that brings me to today, running for the office of sheriff.
I guess I got to ask you, did you just wake up one day and say, "Hey, I'd like to run for sheriff"? And some people said, "Okay, let's get on board. Let's get on board. Let's see what we can do to help you get that job done," or was it something that you decided to do over a course of a few years?
Yeah, no, actually, I really didn't. It wasn't like over a long span of time. I have some friends that work there. There are some problems there, a lot of issues. I don't get negative. What I do is I focus on what I'm going to do to fix things. And that was part of my decision to run. February came along. It was time to fill out the paperwork and gather signatures for the petitions to get on the ballot. So it was really the beginning of this year that I decided, this is what I'm going to do. Again, after speaking with folks that I know that work there in the condition of the department. And I also worked with the incumbent, so I'm well aware of who he is and what he's about. And so all those things together made me, make that decision to step up and run.
I guess I'm going to have to ask you this question. You're running on the Republican ticket.
Yes, sir.
In Allegheny County, and a lot of people say, "Well, John, why you got this fellow from Allegheny County on?" And I'll tell you exactly why. Because it seems that the Republican Party hasn't been as supportive as they should have been with you. Did I have that correct?
Yeah, we could always use more help. I don't like to focus on the negative, but my whole campaign is grassroots. I think it's growing great. I mean, we're doing very well. We have great committee people throughout the county, and they're helping. They're doing a lot of great work, and that just inspires me to run. During the primary, I got over 41,000 votes, so that obviously gave me some energy and a good boost. But people are looking for something different, and I am that difference, and I'm looking to win the election.
A lot of people don't realize it. How many signatures did you have to get to go forward on the ballot? Is the sheriff 250?
No, it was actually 500, and it's funny you asked that because that was not an easy task. And when I say that, it's because you only have a 3-week window.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can imagine gathering 500 signatures in 3 weeks, it's pretty tough. I was actually my goal was to get 800. I got about 850, and I got about 500, just under 500 personally. So I was out there every day hustling, And again, some of the committee people throughout the county were very helpful. My wife, assisted with that. So, we were able to raise the bar there.
Well, of course, you got 40,000 votes in the primary. Was you the only one on the Republican side on the primary?
That's correct. And I actually got the most Republican votes in Allegheny County in the primary of this year.
And how many are you going to have to get do you have a magic number to elect you as sheriff?
Well, depending on how you look at it, it's hard to say because in these off years, the numbers aren't that great. I know a lot of people who are Democrat. I had a lot of write-in votes. And, they stand behind me, and I'm sure I'll be getting their votes. So it's really hard to say. Again, it's going to be all based on the turnout. But I feel confident, and, I'm just looking forward to November.
This is a question I ask almost all candidates. Do you believe in term limits?
I do, yes. Yeah, I think anyone that's in too long, it's just not good for anyone or any organization. You need different perspective on things. You need different views. And most people aren't capable of, staying with that challenge to grow and move forward. I think a lot of candidates just get complacent and, they just get caught up in all the nonsense. And, things don't move forward. They get stagnant, create problems, and then, the people suffer. And that's why I'm here. I want to do good for our citizens of Allegheny County.
Well, I spoke to you for a while last night before my eyes got so heavy. But anyways, one of the things I really took from you is you're not just trying to get the title of sheriff. You're trying to do the right things, and I like that a lot. You've talked about public safety and not about politics with me last night. You did, and that was one of the things I wrote down. That is a strong line because I believe that we're all elected to serve the people, and I got that from you. If you're in the politics of being a sheriff, I'm just not sure how that all relates. I mean, do you have any thoughts on that at all?
Yeah, no, you're right. I have nothing to gain from this, and everyone does need to know that because a lot of times, candidates run because they have people already within the organizations, looking for things, looking for favors. I'm coming in cold turkey. I don't owe anyone anything, which I think a lot of candidates do. And I'm just coming in to do good for the people. This has nothing to do with the title, nothing to do with money. I'm doing quite well. I have a private investigative business. I'm retired from the military, retired from Pittsburgh Police after 25 years. I'm in pretty good shape. I'm stepping up because the people deserve better. Our downtown is a disgraced Pittsburgh area. I remember the day you'd get on town and the streets would just be packed with people, going to lunch, shopping, doing whatever. Today you go downtown, it's just a mess. You got homeless people everywhere. You got addicts everywhere. And nobody's doing anything about it.
Well,
and a lot of people say, well, the sheriffs don't have any control of that. Well, the sheriff's department, the deputies are all 120 certified, and as you may know, in Pennsylvania, you are law enforcement certified. You have police powers, and we need to utilize our deputies, put them to work, and help the departments throughout Allegheny County, and just to make it a safer and better place for our citizens.
One of the things that I do know, well, you talk about downtown Pittsburgh. Let's start there. I remember going shopping in downtown Pittsburgh when I was a kid. I'm 63 years old now. I don't want to name the stores because I'll probably get it wrong, but I'm pretty sure there was Horns. Gimbals? Does that sound right? Did I get that right?
They were there. That is correct. And you're only a few years older than me, so you know exactly how downtown Pittsburgh was back in the day.
I mean, there was people standing on the corners. The Salvation Army would be around, and then, of course, I'm on WMBS radio now, but I remember KDKA and Uncle Ed and them doing the bagels and all the on the Christmas time. You go down there and collect money for Children's Hospital, and I don't know if they still do that or not. They probably do it some kind of virtual now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a thing of the past, unfortunately.
It was a good time. You wake up every morning and there'd be people from, different choirs from different high schools that be down there, and that's one of the things I think that we miss out, because the malls kind of took over, and then now the malls are kind of falling away, and they're doing different things now, but I think that's one of the things where people miss going to and seeing. And I remember we went to Buell Planetarium always, just about every year to see the train display too. But anyways, Let's get back to you and running for office. I know crime's it's a focus right now with the DC thing going on, and do you feel, and this is going to be one I probably already know the answer, so that's why I'm asking it. Do you think Allegheny County is any safer now than it was 10 years ago? And if you do so, why or why not? I really think that's something we need to think about. I mean, I know the way it is in Fayette County, I don't feel that we're any safer now than we were 10 years ago. But how do you feel about that?
No, I would agree with that we are not as safe as we were 10 years ago. Unfortunately, a lot of things have changed, and not for the better at this point. Like I said, downtown, we have the homeless problem, and, and we have the drug problem, and these folks need help. And, just letting them sleep on the street or under a bridge, that's not the answer. And a lot of our local politicians, they talk, and all they do is talk, but nothing's being done. It seems like they just talk to shut people up. The media goes away. The problem still exists. So no, we have a lot of work to do. We can make it better, and we will make it better.
I know that that this is a big thing. I spoke to our sheriff different times, and he really would like to have investigative powers, that's something that he does have through the Constitution. But what's your view about cooperating with different federal agencies and ICE or the ATF? I'm not a real fan of the ATF, as you probably know, because I'm a 2A guy. But should the sheriffs? Do you feel like that you guys need to work with them, or that they need to make sure that they work in coordination with you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think all law enforcement agencies should work together. It's needed, it's necessary, and it's part of the oath that we take. Together we can do many great things. I've actually worked with ATF agents through my years. I've worked with the Sheriff's Fugitive Task Squad. I've worked with every agency, the FBI. I'm open. And I think all the more resources we have, the better.
I know this is a big problem right now with all the counties, but it just isn't something that's specific to Allegheny County or Butler County or Beaver County or Fayette County, but it is specific. It is the question I'm going to ask you is I know that there's financial problems all across, and I'm sure that you've looked at the budget. And do you feel that's a sustainable thing if you become sheriff, or when you become sheriff? Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sorry. It would be sustainable.
Well, do you feel like that you'll be able to reduce the budget any, or you're going to need a bigger budget, or you're going to try to cut costs and use money more efficiently than what the person that's in office right now?
Yeah, currently my opponent, that's his big thing. I come in under budget, and that's okay, but that's not necessarily good. I mean, I believe the deputies should get more training opportunities. For example, crisis intervention training. There's a 40-hour course that I think all deputies, in fact, all law enforcement should have, because it helps you to identify, understand, and deal, better, have better knowledge of people with mental illness. And, that just goes a long way, because you need to identify if someone's just, being a problem, or if they have an issue, mentally, and how you approach that situation. The outcome becomes totally different. And if I have a budget, I think we should use that budget. And if we can get additional training out of it, that's perfect. It's only going to benefit everyone again. And that's my goal. I'm just looking to make things better, do better. We all deserve it. And that's my goal.
Yeah, and I'm sure you're not going to try to waste the taxpayers' money in any way that you. I'm sure you're going to try to use it as appropriately as you possibly can. I was listening to the radio yesterday, and it came up about one of the biggest things is fentanyl in this country. I didn't really talk to you about this last night, but now I guess there's something that's even more powerful than the fentanyl that the people are using. It's some kind of a horse tranquilizer that they're. And did you? Is there? I know that last year I forget exactly how many, but I know that we had several deaths here in Fayette County. Have you looked at any of that? Sort of trying to figure out a plan to work with law enforcement in Allegheny County, and also through the sheriff's office to try to help curb the supply of this?
Certainly, yeah, and that actually has been around for a while. It just wasn't real big, but years back, they started breaking into some veterinarian hospitals, stealing that type of medication, and but now it's really big, and I'm not sure if the medication changed or what have you, but certainly with the sheriff's department locally here, the main jobs are court security, prisoner transport, and then the fugitive warrant squad. So those items are first and foremost, but there are additional deputies, and I would gladly have deputies on a task force to curb that, and because it is a problem, and we do need to stop it, and we need to hold the dealers accountable for it, which, during my years in homicide, we had maybe, I would say, less than a handful of cases that we were able to prosecute, but I'm not aware offhand that we've had any recently. And, we've had a lot of deaths just like everyone else, every other county across the country. And we do need to focus on that, do better investigations or what have you, identify the dealers, and obviously pursue them. So, yes, I would have deputies available to do that.
Well, you did work for the city of Pittsburgh as a homicide detective for 30 years. Did I have that right?
18 and a half. Yeah, I was on for 25, and then I had 33 years in the military. Okay.
Speaking of the military, I do want to say something about this. Today was the day that 13 fell in Afghanistan. I think we need to think about that. I know that's off track where we're at, but we need to remember these people that serve us in the country and take care of us and keep us safe. And
absolutely,
that's one. And I know you served, so that was one of the things that I just remembered that it came up to me. You talked about when we were talking last night for a little bit. You talked about creating a fair and equitable workplace. The sheriff's office has to share internal problems, obviously, and favoritism and moral issues, even lawsuits. How do you plan to try to fix some of them things?
Yeah, well, a couple things that my opponent has done is he disbanded our emergency response team for the courthouse, which I think is ridiculous. Should emergency arise, there is no team that's training to deal with those types of situations. The other thing is, in Pennsylvania, the PA Chiefs of Police Association, they run an accreditation program. And it's basically, it raises the bar for departments And I'm sorry, a little distraction there, but it raises the bar for departments, professional standards, and again, my opponent has let that expire as well. He failed to keep up the standards, and that's one of the things we have to do. We have to make sure our standards are high, professionalism, leadership, integrity. All those things are factors in making a better department, and that's what we need to focus on.
I've kind of brought this up briefly at the beginning, but I did speak to I have a friend that he's a constitutional he teaches the Constitution, but many of the sheriffs across America see themselves as defenders of the constitutional rights, especially the Second Amendment. Do you see that as a part of your duty as sheriff here in when you become sheriff in Allegheny County?
Absolutely. I am 100% for the Second Amendment, right to bear arms. And in fact, I am endorsed by the Gun Owners of America as well.
How do you feel about constitutional carry?
I'm for it. I think, that's a right that we have, and we should be able to do that.
I got a question for you. This is way off base, but if somebody would how do I want to say it? I want to do this correctly. Say they were convicted of a crime or maybe a felon, and they would be they would serve their time and they would do everything. Do you still feel that they should have the right to own a gun like anyone else?
Well, I think that would be based on a case-by-case basis. Obviously, we have to follow the law, and currently that's not allowed. But I think that cases could be given consideration. That's my opinion on it.
I mean, I often thought about that. If you took and you did what you were directed to do by the judge, and you served your time and everything, and you were done, and then your probationer, because the Constitution doesn't say anything about that. What it does say is you have the right to bear arms, and I often thought about that. I mean, they'd be allowed to go to the military. So, but anyways, that's another page. Okay,
right.
So one of the other questions I was going to ask you: how do you balance enforcing the law with protecting civil liberties? This is a big one, because what's going on right now down in D.C. I know that more than likely that warrants and seizures and protests and things like that you might end up being involved in, but. How do you feel? There got to be there's a fine line there where you have to walk, I guess, as a sheriff or as any law enforcement agency, or law enforcement person. But how do you feel about we need to make things safe, but we also got to give everybody their rights also. So I guess what I'm asking you is how do you feel like that you would be willing to enforce these things?
Certainly. Well, there are limits to everything, and I think the part, for instance, protest. You can protest peaceful. When you step out of those bounds, then it may require some law enforcement action. Again, we can't burn down our city. We can't, burn cars. We can't injure people. We just need to follow the rules. That's why they're in place. And as long as we do that, I think everybody's okay. Law enforcement knows what they have to do. They know their boundaries, and people need to understand that.
I keep going back to the Constitution about some things, but some sheriffs really believe that the government, especially in Pennsylvania, I know the Sheriff's Association of Pennsylvania this is a big thing. Do you feel there's too much government overreach right now with prohibiting you in doing what you really were intended to be doing?
Well, I think for local police departments, absolutely. The sheriffs are elected by the people. So they have to answer to the people, and I think the people should hold them accountable. I'm finding out from my campaigning that a lot of folks really have very little knowledge of the sheriff's department and what they do. And so I try to educate them on it. But I think our bigger problem is, the cities themselves, the different municipalities, they control their police departments. And, I hold the politicians liable. These officers come into work. I know I've worked with them for 25 years. They want to come in and go to work and do the right thing. These politicians, again, they bring in these chiefs. They tell the chief, this is what I want. The chief has to do that, or guess what? The chief's out of a job. And unfortunately, that rolls downhill. And, the chief and supervisors pretty much tie the hands of a lot of our law enforcement officers. And that needs to change. If that changes, safety skyrockets.
Well, and then basically, you're like a federal marshal is at the county level. That's what the way the sheriffs work right now in Pennsylvania. Did I have that correct? I mean,
it kind of makes sense.
You help transport prisoners. You help.
Right.
Yeah. You serve warrants, and that's basically what a federal marshal does. I think I have that kind of right, except at the county level.
Yeah, and they do the courtroom security for the federal courts. Yes.
Yeah. How many? Is there a number of officers that you usually put in a courtroom? That just popped up on my head. I just thought about that. Is there a certain number, or it depends on the size of the courtroom, or does it depend on the judge?
No, typically, from what I've seen and what I've experienced, there's one deputy assigned to each courtroom. And then, but if there's a jury trial, depending on how many people are in the courtroom, that could be increased to 2 or 3. Typically, when they come down with a verdict, because no one knows what it's going to be, you may have a courtroom of 10 deputies. Everything else just gets put on hold while they, handle that portion of the case, of the trial.
Okay, well, I can go to this now. Yeah, you are running as a Republican, but we have listeners, from both parties.
Yes.
And both parties have failed working with. I feel both parties have failed, and they're working with the people. How do you stay accountable to the people and not the party bosses?
Well, again, I come in the door. I'm a grassroots campaign. I'm not attached to any specific leader in any way. I'm here for the people. That's why my motto is public safety, not politics. I'm here to represent everyone, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, Independent, non-affiliated, Green Party, Tea Party, whatever. I'm here to represent everyone, and that's my goal. I'm fair. And just, again, I'm out there. I just want to make the county safe for all citizens, not any specific person or party.
Your opponent was elected in 2021. Do I have that right?
That's correct, yes.
And can you point out some of the things that you really, really, really want to change right from day one? When you walk in that door and they put the sign up. If they put it up on your office, I wouldn't let them put a sign above my office. My office says I'm the recorder of deeds for the people of Fayette County. So I don't. That door belongs to the people of Fayette County. It don't belong to me. I'm there to serve, and that's how I feel about that. But I mean, what's your thoughts on whatever you would like to change from the get?
I agree with you on that. When I take over, that's not my office. It's the office of the people. I'm just occupying it for as long as the people want me. And first thing is integrity. It's going to go through the roof. It's going to be such a relief when I step in there because integrity, professionalism, and they're going to see leadership. And, those are the 3 biggies. We're going to build that emergency response team. We're going to get that accreditation back. We're going to do all those things that makes it a more professional and honest organization.
I learned a long time ago that from somebody that they taught me this, that when I first took office, all the ladies that were in the office, in which I have an incredible staff, it's unbelievable. But they asked me what I wanted, and I said, just keep on doing what you're doing, and don't worry about making mistakes, because if you're doing something, I can fix it. But if you're doing nothing, I can't fix nothing. So I think me and you kind of align that way.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Yeah, I mean, if you're working, you're gonna stumble, you're gonna make mistakes. That's how you learn. I mean, experience is the best teacher. You could sit there and take classes all day long until you get out there, you get your hands dirty. You know, you don't know what you're doing until you get involved, till you get that experience. And you're right. If you're doing nothing, why be there? You know.
Is now something I don't think that a lot of people that are listening to my show will probably realize is Allegheny County is home rule, right?
Yes.
So you really don't have county commissioners. I mean, you do have county commissioners,
well,
but they're it's a little different than what it would be is normally. There, how many county commissioners are there in Allegheny County?
Well, no, we went to a county executive.
Okay.
And then we have, I think it's 15 county council people.
Okay.
So there's 15 county council seats throughout the county. And we, again, it's a county exec. So, you know, one individual.
So you would answer to the board, or you would answer or you have to answer to the executive?
Well,
maybe you don't have to answer to nobody because you're the sheriff and you run your own office.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. I would be elected by the people. I answer to the people. Obviously, the county executive controls the budget. So, you know, you will have to go to council meetings, which my understanding, my opponent does not attend all the time. He's on the jail oversight board, which he doesn't make those meetings. Recently, our jail guards just petitioned them, and I assisted them getting almost, it was, I think, a couple hundred signatures for them to petition council to reconsider, because back in 21, I believe it was, I didn't see it on the ballot, but apparently they slid it in where our jail guards were no longer allowed to use leg irons, leg shackles, pepper spray, or the restraint chair. So the deputies over that period of time, they've had 14 escape attempts. A couple jail guards were injured during that time, and from prisoners who were transported to the hospital trying to escape. So, like I said, I met the union president, and I assisted him with those signatures, and they were able to take, I believe it was 900 signatures. They just took it to council a few days ago, and so now they have 60 days to respond to that. So, but yeah, to answer your question, yeah, the sheriff answers to the people, but we do have to attend council meetings and obviously update them on different things.
Well, they control your budget. That's the same as
Correct.
The way my office is. The county commissioners actually, everything comes down from the state for me. That's how I have to follow the way the state wants things done. And the county commissioners don't. They control the budget from the taxpayers. Now I have that's how that works. But other than that, that's pretty much all they can. That's the end of it right there. And that's what you're saying also. I guess the one thing I wanted to ask you too is if November, you're moving in. What's the one promise you want everybody to remember you for from this campaign?
Yeah, well, it would be in January. That would be the term. The election's November, then January 1 you take over. But the biggest thing is it's going to be a whole new world for the deputies and for our citizens, because I just bring more to the table. I'm going to do things. I'm going to make things happen, and it's just going to be a better place.
Is now this popped into my head too. How many people were actually incarcerated by the county in Allegheny County, by the county?
I don't know that number offhand. I want to say the jail may hold up to close to 1,000 prisoners, but I've been out of it for a number of years, so I don't know the exact numbers. I'd say we're well below that because, we have a lot of progressives running the show here, unfortunately, and that's making our city and county unsafe. And, that's something I'm looking to work on as well.
Well, and one of the things at the county level, a lot of these people were they're in for, well, they're things they did bad, but there's a lot of people that are just, at one time, I don't know if it's like this in Fayette County, but I was talking to somebody on the other side of the state. They said that a lot of their prisoners are just in there like on weekends, and I didn't even realize that, and I forgot to ask you about that. I guess there's programs where people can serve their time and still go to their job and go home. Is that something that you would you want to keep? Do they have something like that in Allegheny County?
Yeah, I don't know if they come to the jail, but I remember for like a DUI or something, if you would be, if you would be sentenced to 48 hours or, whatever the charge requires, then that's up to the courts to make that decision. And they could do it through the jail itself, or they could do it through what they call halfway houses, that we have a number of those throughout the county as well. And, a lot of times some of our nonviolent offenders are sentenced there, and then, they basically, that would be technically their jail sentence to stay there. They would have work release, go to work, come back at the end of the day, that type of thing. So we do have those facilities. They call them community correction facilities, and we do have a few of those. But I'm not sure how much the jail is used for that specific purpose.
Well, I appreciate you calling in. I think we are about out of time, Nick. Okay. We got a minute left, but we'll try to get you back on again. Is there any contact information you want to give me, real quickly?
Certainly, yeah. If you'd like, check out my website. It's Brian, BRIAN, 4, sheriff.com. And my Facebook page is Brian, 4 Sheriff AC for Allegheny County, as well as my Instagram and Twitter. Check those out. You'll learn all about me, and you'll see what I bring to the table if you really check out my website. Okay,
I appreciate you calling in. I appreciate you having on, and I know that there's going to be a lot of people checking this out on Facebook and different things, and you can share it all around. So hopefully I help you out a little bit up there.
Excellent. I appreciate it, John. You take care. Thank you.
Hey, I want to close up. I think I only got a minute left. Is that right, Nick? I want to close up with a couple things. Don't forget the Lee Greenwood and Ira Dean concert on October 25th. Please go to the State Theater website. Go to a couple different places on Facebook or the community events, and you'll be able to use one of them codes and order your tickets. So, on this road called life, you have to take the good with the bad. Smile when you're sad, love what you got, and remember what you had. Always forgive and try to forget. People change, things go wrong, but just remember the ride goes on. God bless each and every one of you, and God bless America. I am John Marietta, and I am the Hillbilly.
And this is your local station, 590 and 101.1 WMBS Uniontown, sunny and 70 at 5 o'clock here on your local station.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Matt Piper.